नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। रीडिंग फ्रॉम Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9, Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. Text number 13 and 14. Na chantarna bahiryasya. Okay, so we have only 14 here, so we will read side 14 and 13 will read translation. Tam matvam avyaktam martya lingam adhokshajam gopikolu kale damna बबंधा प्रकृतं यथा तं मत्वामजम् अव्यक्तं मर्त्यालिङ्गमधोक्षजम् गोपिको उखलेदाम्ना बबंधा प्राकृतं यथा न not cha also antah interior na nor bahi exterior yasya whose na neither urvam beginning na nor api indeed cha also aparam and purva aparam the beginning and the end bahi cha antah the external and the internal jagatah of the whole cosmic manifestation ya one who is jagat chaya and who is everything in creation in total tam him matva considering Atmajam, her own son, Avyaktam, the unmanifested, Martalingam, appearing as a human being, Adhokshajam, beyond sense perception. Gopika, Mother Yashoda, Ulukhale to the grinding mortar, Damna by a rope, Babandha bound, Prakritam Yatha as done to a common human child. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior and no interior, no front and no rear. In other words, He is all pervading because He is not under the influence of the element of time. For Him, there is no difference between past, present and future. He exists in His own transcendental form at all times. Being absolute, beyond relativity, He is free from distinction between cause and effect. Although He is the cause and effect of everything, that unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of the senses had now appeared as a human child. And Mother Yashoda, considering him her own ordinary child, bound him with the wooden mortar with a rope. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 10.12, Krishna is described as the Supreme Brahman. Param Brahma, Param Dham. The word Brahma means the greatest. Krishna is the greater than the greatest, being unlimited and all-pervading. How can it be possible for the all-pervading to be measured or bound? Then again, Krishna is the time factor. Therefore, He is all-pervading, not only in space, but also in time. We have measurements of time, but although we are limited by past, present, and future, for Krishna, these do not exist. Every individual person can be measured, but Krishna has already shown that although He also is an individual, the entire cosmic manifestation is within His mouth. All these points considered, Krishna cannot be measured. How then did Yashoda want to measure Him and bind Him? We must conclude that this took place simply on the platform of pure devotional, pure transcendental love. This was the only cause. Advaitam achyuttam anadim anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktao Govindamadi Purusham Amaham Bhajami. Brahma Samhita 533. Everything is one because Krishna is the supreme cause of everything. Krishna cannot be measured or calculated by Vedic knowledge. Vedeshu Durlabham. He is available only to devotees. Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. Devotees can handle Him because they act on the basis of loving service. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yasyasmi tatvataha. Thus, Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Him. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So here we are reading very intimate and very interesting, very amazing, bewildering pastimes of Lord Krishna as a baby boy in the courtyard in the home of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. This whole chapter is Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna, and it is said in the purport and the translation as well that nobody can bind Krishna. He is immeasurable, aparimeya. We cannot measure him. We cannot estimate his position, his strength, his capabilities, his opulences, because they are full and complete. Parashar Muni mentioned 6 opulences of Lord Krishna. Aishwarya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Shashriya. So he is all famous, all riches, all strength, all wisdom, all strength, all enunciation. I may have missed 1 or 2. So, and all these 6 opulences are in Krishna in full. It's not that he has 5 opulences, in 6th one he is second. No, he is first in all. If we find any person having all these 6 opulences in full, then we can consider him God, Godhead. That's one thing. Antarbahi avasthitam, Krishna is within, without, Krishna inside, outside. Queen Kunti in her prayers, she also mentioned, she started her prayers when we all know Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Canto 1 starts with the questions of the sages, then divinity and divine service, and then scheduled incarnations of Lord Krishna. All these 3 chapters, they are pretty much answering these 6 questions by the sages. And the questions were like, what is the best for all humanity, essence of all religious scriptures, why Krishna took or appeared in the womb of Devaki, and how Krishna incarnates his incarnations, what connection Krishna has with the material world, how he interacts. So many questions. 88,000 rishis, they got together in Naimisharanya, near Lucknow, capital of UP. And They were headed by Shaunaka Rishi, and there was Suta Goswami. And Shaunaka Rishi asked Suta Goswami, you were present when Parikshit Maharaj was cursed. And Shukdev Goswami spoke the whole essence of scriptures in terms of Bhagavatam. Could you please ascertain what is the duty? How people, because we have been performing these fire sacrifices for thousands of years, and we could not ascertain what can be done for the upcoming age of Kali, which is age of quarrel, hypocrisy, jealousy, anger, deceit, all vices in Kali Yuga. How can we counter? As far as we are concerned, we are together here, but we are concerned about the masses. Manda sumanda matyo, manda bhagya, there will be quarrelsome, less intelligent. Alpayusha, small age. How? Then Suta Goswami, if we want to summarize the answer of all these 6 questions in 3 verses, what could be those verses? Anyone? The answer of these 6 questions have been summarized in 3 verses. Number 1, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 6. Very famous verse. Prabhupada quoted it thousands of times. Savay punsa paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje ahatuki apratihata yayat masu prasidati. The best occupational duty is that by which can awaken in our hearts ahatuki apratihata. Ahatuki means no cause, no purpose behind it. Just Krishna. Bhakti for him, adhokshaja, because the word here, adhokshajam. Tam matvatmajam vyaktam avyaktam martyalingam adhokshajam. So Krishna is adhokshajam. Ahatuki apratihata. Apratihata means never stopped, never checked by any material condition. I may be old, I may be young. I may be at job, gare dhako, vane dhako, sadahari bole dhako. You can be at home, you can be at your job, you can be vanprastha, you can be sannyas. Whatever you are, never checked, no disease, no money, nothing. Krishna has made it very, very simple for everyone. Ahatuki apratihata yajatma suprasidati. So this is, Prabhupada mentioned, this is the test of a religion, test of a process, test of a path, test of a faith, whatever we want to follow, test of a religion, test of the duties, that whatever we do at the end of the day, if we do not have aroused in our heart bhakti for adhokshajam, beyond our senses, if that doesn't happen, forget about it. It may be whatever it is. Because Prabhupada was asked several times by the people in the West, Swamiji, you are Hindu, you came from India, India is poor, India is under British rule, or not at that time, but of course it was. And why you have come here? And Prabhupada said, yes. In England he was asked actually by a reporter. And he said, reporter said, Swamiji, why you have come? We have Christianity, we have churches, we are nice people. Why you want to teach us, convert us? Prabhupada said, you Britishers, you ruled India for close to 500, 600 years, and you looted India, everything. All jewels, all the temples, all the gold, everything you just looted like anything and brought to here, England. But one thing, most valuable, which you didn't bring with you, that was the spiritual consciousness of India, Krishna consciousness of India, Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Lalita Vishakha, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. You forget to bring that. And I have come here to bring that thing for you, to give that to you. Most precious thing. Savai Punsa Paro Dharmo. And the second verse could be about incarnations. That is the Paribhash Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam. The whole Bhagavatam can be defined by just one verse. Verse is the Paribhash Sutra. It's like the definitive verse, the definition of Bhagavatam. Ete chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. So, Krishna has many incarnations. But Krishnastu Bhagavan. When you come as a Krishna, you are coming yourself. You are not avatar. You are avatari. You are descending yourself. You are not expanding yourself as Krishna. You are Krishna. You are full Godhead coming down. And then the sixth question of the sages was, what happened to the religious principles after Krishna left this world, this Mrityu Loka? So the answer to that was, Krishna Swadha Mopagate. Krishna went to his own abode. Dharma Jnana Divisa. With all the principles of religion and all the knowledge, spiritual transcendental knowledge, they disappeared with him. Dharma Jnana Divisa. Kalau Nashta Dashameshe. And keeping in view the upcoming age of Kali Yuga, very bad, very tough. Puranar ko dhunordhita. Krishna has established or manifested himself in Srimad Bhagavatam Purana. So if we want to associate with Krishna, here's the Bhagavad Purana. And we are actually associating with Krishna right away. Krishna is non-different from his name, non-different from his words, non-different from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So these are the transcendental. And Queen Kunti, because we were talking about that, the first three chapters, questions by the sages, divinity and divine service, and then scheduled incarnation of Krishna. Then the fourth chapter starts with the appearance of Narada, then glorification of Bhagavatam by Narada, and then conversation between whom? Sixth chapter. Conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva was confused after writing all the Vedic scriptures. He was depressed. And he was depressed, his guru came. Who was guru? Narad Muni. He came. And what he said? Yes, you are sad, you are depressed, you are morose. Yes, you must be. Why you must be like that? Because you have done Jugupsitam. Great offense, great disservice you have done. Why? I am sitting here writing all the Vedic literature, Charu Veda, and now I am depressed. And you are saying, okay, yeah, that's right, you must be. Why? Because you have Traguniya Veshya Veda, Nistraguniyo Bhavarjuna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentioned that these three modes of material nature are the subject matter of Vedas. Vedasya sarver ahame vedo. From Vedic literature, I must be known. Krishna is saying Bhagavad Gita. And what you have done? You have engaged all these people in Karma Kanda. You will do this, you will get this. You will do this, you will get this. But Krishna mentioned Bhagavad Gita. Antavattu phalam tesham. All these are my gods. You worship them. They will come after a certain point. No matter who the hell you are, you may be the demon, worst demon of the whole world, whole universe. But he must come and give you benedictions. But Those benedictions, they do not go beyond this material world. That's the problem. Antavattu phalam tesham. Whatever benediction they will give you, money, beautiful wife, beautiful husband, job, nice sons, children, nice parents, education, beauty, you can get anything from these demigods by worshipping demigods. But they cannot get out of you this material world. Only Mukunda, Mukti, Data is Mukunda, Krishna. Only he can get out of this world. So now you must glorify him. So then Vyasadeva started writing the essence, this Bhagavata Purana. So then things started tracking backwards, because these are the 6 chapters of first canto Bhagavatam. Then the discussion came back to now, because Bhagavatam was spoken by Shukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. But how did that happen? That question was raised. Why the king was cursed? How that happened? So then, to bring that point, Shukdev Goswami started off, son of Drona punished. Why he was punished? 7th chapter. He was punished because he did a heinous crime. Even Duryodhana did not approve, killing the 5 sons of Draupadi. He didn't like it. He killed them. Then, when Arjuna chased him, he released Brahmastra on Arjuna. Then Krishna said to Arjuna, you also use Brahmastra. Then he counters Brahmastra. So Arjuna retracted his Brahmastra, but Ashwatthama didn't know how to do it. He said, okay, better now I divert it to the last year of the whole Pandav dynasty, Kuru dynasty, Parikshit Maharaj, in the womb of Uttara. He diverted that. So, son of Drona punished, but then in 8th chapter, Uttara came running to Krishna, 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 Mahabhavo. You are safe, you save me, I am burning. Because, then Arjuna, okay, it's because that son of a Brahmana, Ashwatthama, released that Brahmastra towards you to kill your womb. And Krishna said, okay, don't worry, I will save. Krishna entered the womb of Uttara and saved Parikshit Maharaj by a thumb-like size. He entered the womb of Uttara, and Parikshit Maharaj saw him right away. Because in the womb of the mother, child is most conscious. Child is in full understanding of his position. He knows I am suffering. He knows I have committed mistakes. That's why I have entered into the womb of a mother. He knows. And that is why reciting Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, watching Krishna's pastimes on TV, if you want to watch TV, or chanting Hare Krishna mantra, because only then the child in the womb can get peaceful. Otherwise he is bitten by the worms around him. He is very restless, very much suffering. Only chanting can bring him some peace, some happiness, some solace. So then, Queen Kunti, when she saw all of this, she said, Namasya Purusham Tvadyam, Ishvara Prakate Param, Alakshya Sarvbhutanam, Antar Bahi Avasitam, Nachantar na Bahirasya, Nachantar na Bahirasya, na inside, not outside. So this is what Queen Kunti also said in her prayers. And then Bhishma Pitama, he passed away in the presence of Lord Krishna, chapter 9. Then chapter 10, Krishna is leaving Hastinapur. Chapter 11, Krishna arriving Dwaraka. Chapter 12, birth of Maharpaji. Chapter 13, Dhritarashtra retires. Chapter 14, Pandavas, no, Krishna left the world. Then 15th, Pandava retires. So this is the, intermediate circumstances, like how son of Drona punished and all of that, and then Krishna went to Dwarka, and then started next chapter that now people began leaving. So first Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, they left. Vidura left. Then Krishna left. Then Pandavas left. So this is Bhagavatam, this summary is very, very amazing. Is a so much. And now here, in this verse, the pastime Namamishwaram Satchidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamanam Yashodabhiyo Lukha Ladhavamana. So Namamishwaram, Satyavrata Muni is saying, who authored these prayers, and Sanatana Goswami also described a lot of, he wrote, I forget the name of the book, but he wrote that describing the second verse of this prayers by Satyavrata Muni regarding the pastimes of Lord Krishna, because Krishna, very mischievous, he was standing on the wooden grinding mortar, inverted, and he was standing on it and stealing the butter pot, or rather broken it. So then Mother Yashoda bhi yoluka la dhava man. So he's like, she's running after, and Krishna is fear personified, satanka netram, atank, terrorized. I remember my mother used to beat me, because in older days, children used to be beaten. Nowadays, this is a thing like, don't beat, it's abuse, it's like that. But in older days, we used to get beaten by everything, They slapping and like that, because that's the way we used to correct back then. Now the days are gone, you are all you are young here, they are fortunate not to get beaten, or rather unfortunate not to get beaten. But we got beaten by mom. So my mom used to beat me like anything. Slight mistake, beaten. So Mother Yashoda took a stick and ran after Krishna. And Krishna is running. And Mother Yashoda, because Krishna is very small baby, he can run faster than Mother Yashoda. Because Yashoda, she is a heavy body. And then she ran with greater druta, more speed, higher speed than Krishna, caught him. And now stick. And Krishna's eyes are very, very fearful, full of fear. Satanka netram. His netras, his eyes are just like, oh, Ma is coming, Yashoda Ma is coming. So very fearful. So, and looking at these pastimes, or the whole Vrajmanam, the whole Vrajmandal, all the devotees, they are just full of ecstasy, full of just thinking what Krishna is doing. And Mother Yashoda, at one point she stopped. I don't want to terrorize my child also. Because sometimes parents, they beat children for correction, but not to hurt their feelings, not to make them perverted, or not to make them fearful always. My father used to beat me, and he would make a face like this, and would bring on my back, and bring with a force, but then stop at the back and then push a little bit. Symbolic beating. So very nice. I still remember. So my father used to beat me with, my mother was a little harsh. She used to beat me fit, like a painful beating. My father was, so that I would not commit that mistake again. Because in those days you have to do so many household chores in your home. No servants concept, and no washing machine, and no nothing. No refrigerator even. So you have to do everything as a family together. And you have certain things to do. If you don't do, you got beaten. If you don't study, you got beaten. If you play too long with your friends, you are beaten. That's how you get correction. I wish that could happen even today. Because that would have fixed a lot of things, because I know, like many parents, they come to me. They say, sir, when I call them that your son is not attending classes and he is very regular, They come and see me. They bring the boy is standing here, father is sitting here, mother is sitting here. Sir, he is not listening us. सुनता नहीं है. आप इसकी पिटाई भी कर दो, कोई चिंता नहीं है. Don't worry, if you beat him as a professor, no worries. We will not make any case against you. Just beat him. I said, because it's too late to beat him. You did an early mistake by not beating him right in the beginning. When he was naughty or not studying well, you already did that mistake. So now if I beat, that will counterproductive. It happens. So parents, Mother Yashoda is trying to correct Krishna's behavior. You have so many cows, you have so much milk, you have so much butter in your own home. Why you are going to other homes? So much insult we are facing every day. Gopis are coming. Yashoda, your son did this. Your son did this. I am very ashamed of you. So Yashoda is very much bothered by Krishna all the time. So, but by these pastimes, they are annoyed. But at the same time, they are enjoying it. This is Krishna. He is doing pastimes. Mother Yashoda is beating. Because the goal was, with this whole Leela, the idea was that Krishna wanted to protect the desire of his pure devotee when he cursed the sons of Kubera, that you become tree in the court of Nanda Maharaj. But then they asked forgiveness. Then Narad Muni said, okay, when Lord Krishna will be playing in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, then Lord Krishna, you will see, you will have darshan of Lord Krishna. So that's what has happened, that Lord Krishna had a plan. Mother bound when she was trying to bind him with the ropes. Namaste stu dhamne suradipti dhamne. So she is trying to bind Krishna with the rope. And Krishna, like this verse saying, it's impossible to catch Krishna. It's impossible to bind Krishna. Because he has no exterior, no interior, no front, no rear. And even though Mother Yashoda, 2-3 days back, only Krishna showed the whole universe in his own little mouth to Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda saw that, almost fainted. That something happened here. At some point she realized that he is Param Brahma, because Arjuna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 12. After the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita was mentioned by Krishna himself, then Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhava. So Krishna is, Prabhupada is saying in the Prabhupada, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So what Krishna is saying, that Arjuna is saying to Krishna after listening Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita 10.8 to 10.11, in 10.12 Arjuna agreed, you are the greatest. Asita Devala Vyasa, they have mentioned several times in the scriptures, and now you yourself is telling me, describing yourself about you. What could be better than this? Krishna is speaking about himself directly. Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Then in Chatushloki Bhagavatam, same thing. Ahameva samevagre nanyat sat asat param pasyadaham etachya yo vashishyati so asmiham. When there was nothing, I was there. Ahameva samevagre. Whatever eternal, whatever temporary is all. It manifested after me. When everything will be finished, annihilated, so vashishyati so asmiham. I will be left back. When everything is finished, merged into my body. So Krishna is speaking himself about his own position. And here, with this pastime, Mother Yashoda is trying to bind Krishna, and rope is always 2 fingers short. is so bewildering. She will get more rope, will bind, tie again, make knots, tie to Krishna. Not enough. Because Krishna's energies, Parasya Shakti, Vividhe, Suryate, Swabhaviki, Jnana Bala Kriya. Krishna's energies are there always around him. And they do not allow anything which is not correct or which is not like Krishna. Nobody can bind him. And Mother Yashoda, why she is able to bind him? Because they say here. Prabhupada mentioned the purport, Bhaktya mama bijanati yavan yasyashmi tatvata. Only my devotee can know me in full. Only devotees. Krishna cannot be bind. Krishna cannot be bound by anything. He cannot be caught like a Bilmangal Thakur. He had a wife, but still he started visiting a prostitute. And one day during a storm, he took a ride on the corpse, floating corpse in the river. Under the storm, he went to Chintamani. And Chintamani, when he saw, oh my God, such a big storm, and you are still here. If you had this much love for Krishna, your life had been successful. Why you are after me so much? She became like a Shiksha Guru, and then Bilmangal Thakur left. He started walking towards Vrindavan, and on the way, he saw somebody, and still he had this hallucination hangover of Chintamani. He saw one lady, and thinking, then he asked, I want to be with you. But she was married, and her husband, because he was a tithi, he was guest. He said, okay, what can you do? You have to offer yourself to the guest. Atithi Devo Bhava. But when she got all dressed up, and husband left her in the room with Bilmangal Thakur, Bilmangal Thakur thought, Thu, on my life. I am so degraded, rascal, idiot, that I am asking this. These people are so nice. And what heinous thing I was going to do? Mother, do you have hairpins? She said, yeah, I have hairpin. Give me those. But what would you do with the hairpins? Please, mother, give me that. He took those pins and pierced his both eyes. He said, these lust is entering from these eyes. I don't want these eyes. He pierced them right away. And then started towards Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, he was asking where to go, where is Vrindavan, how can I go to Vrindavan, how can I reach Vrindavan? And he's just walking towards Vrindavan, asking people. Sometimes people will leave him here to there, here to there. When he reached there, nobody to take care of him. And then Krishna came to serve his devotee. He was a good person, but the bad association caused him this thing. And then now, Krishna will come every day, give him milk, give him this, give him this. And one day he thought, oh, who is this person? Then he caught hand of Krishna. There is Krishna, I don't want to leave him. And he said, you're trying to get rid of me? Krishna, I know. You cannot get out of my heart. I'm holding you in my heart. You are so merciful. You can get out of my clutches my hand. But you cannot get out of my heart. That's how Bilmangal Thakur captured Krishna in his heart. That's how Mother Yashoda, she is fully dedicated, pure devotee, and always thinking of Krishna. That's how Krishna surrenders. That's how Krishna can be bound by the ropes. Power of love. Power of loving devotional service. Power of purity. Only and only Krishna in our thoughts, in our actions, then we become eligible. First we Gopi Bhartu Das Kamlyo Das Dasanudas. We have to serve the devotees, start from there. And then by service our heart became cleansed from the desires only through service. Cleaning of heart can be done only by serving Vaishnavas, only through devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, any questions or comments or anything which I did not say right? Senior Vaishnavas are sitting here, junior Vaishnavas are sitting here. They can correct me if I said anything not correct. So, just देखना होगा. प्रभु जी here. Hare Krishna. You can ask as it is. Very good question. The question I am repeating again. Krishna is cause of all causes, but there are so many other causes in between, intermediate cause, ultimate cause, like that. Because within the conversation between, when Parikshit Maharaj in 16th chapter met Kali, age of Kali, so the Kali personified was breaking the legs of a bull. And the bull was left with one leg only. And the mother cow, she approached. So there was a conversation between them that I can see your plight. So causes. Ishvara Parma Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karanam. He is cause of all causes. But there are so many intermediate causes. And how to handle those things sometimes, for example, a person on the street, he just slaps me, or dog comes and bites me, or a monkey comes and takes my this glasses. So now monkey is the cause of my glasses to be taken away, and I cannot see anything anymore. So I have to get another pair of glasses. He is the cause of this problem, monkey, at the moment. But the ultimate cause is Krishna, who arranged that monkey to take my glasses. So, Prabhupada said, thief, he went to the temple. Oh Lord Krishna, I am going to go tonight stealing things from the houses of the people. Please help me, God. And on the other hand, the householder, he is also praying, standing beside the thief. Oh Krishna, protect us, our home, our family from the thieves. And Krishna is perplexed. Listen, this thief or to this householder. So these things are very intricate, very complicated. How to reconcile all of that? How to understand this whole complicated action and reactions, causes and my father is my cause and his father was his cause, and his father, why ultimate cause of everything is Krishna. That also came in the verse, very good question. So ultimately, we have to face the intermediate cause. We have to mitigate, adjust, like Prabhupada. He was trying to open Juhu temple, trying to get the land from Juhu temple, for Juhu temple. And there was a person, the owner, he caused so many problems. So he became intermediate cause of not giving that land to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada tried, Giriraj Maharaj tried so many methods, so many things. So Prabhupada would do every single thing to make things happen in propagation of Krishna consciousness. But then, at the end of the day, he would reconcile saying that Krishna is the ultimate cause. So we make effort to mitigate the intermediate causes and miseries, but we have to adjust our consciousness in such a way that we are not bewildered by this. At the end of the day, many times we try things, mitigate intermediate causes, 3 efforts only. We try to do things one time, didn't happen. Second time, didn't happen. Third time, didn't happen. Then we have to pray to Krishna. Krishna, I have tried enough to mitigate these miseries coming from the Daivik, Bhautik, my own body, mind and other living entity and natural calamities. Or Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, all these pains, miseries I am going through. I am trying to mitigate. I am trying not to be old. I am trying to get rid of disease. I am trying to adjust the social relationships. But they are all causing me pain, problems, because that's the material world. But I am dependent on you. Every day, like our 16 round chanting in the morning is for what? Main thing is we learn how to tolerate these miseries of the material existence. This is the tolerance, is the main thing, tolerance of the behaviors, tolerance of natural calamities, tolerance. We have to tolerate this and all these intermediate causes and depend on Krishna. Krishna, you are the ultimate cause. You have arranged this devotee, this person, this boss for me to correct my behavior. I have to change. They have been sent by you to fix me. Simple thing. They have been arranged by you, that's the ultimate cause. But at the same time, we have to be requesting, we have to be always humble, Tarna Abhi Shuni Chena. We have to be nice to all, that's our interaction. But other than that, nothing happens. A blade of grass cannot move without the will of Krishna. That's why he is the ultimate cause, and we have to keep that always in our heart. But act appropriately as per scriptural injunctions, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, fix ourselves, behave nicely. Still things doesn't go away, or things doesn't adjust, or that cause still remains. Krishna is the ultimate cause. Sarva Karan Karanam. Thank you very much. Any other? Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I have 3 questions. All the others I will ask. First question is like, you said like we in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna comes to this world to establish Dharma.
Krishna
Comes here to establish Dharma. He comes to establish Dharma and protect his devotees.
Oh, okay. Protect, yeah.
Yeah, but in the beginning of your lecture you said when Krishna left, he took Dharma with him.
Yes.
So,
Yes, good question. Good question.
how do we understand? Because he left Bhagavatam with us, so that's how we should understand. Or is that
So the question is, when Krishna left, I said, Dharam Jnanadi Bhisa, all spiritual transcendental knowledge and all the religious principles went with him. But he said that I got established myself in Puranargo, in the Bhagavad Purana. So Bhagavad Purana and Bhagavad Gita are very non-different. Bhagavad Gita is like a science. Bhagavad Gita is like a jnana and Bhagavatam is like a vijnana. So it's applied knowledge, and that's a pure knowledge. Like a pure science, physics, chemistry, math, and applied science, like a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, they're applied. Applied science means engineers, and pure science means physics, chemistry, math. So it's like both things are hand in hand. So it's the same. So Krishna, we have to take reference of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam.
So, second question is Krishna is full in all opulences. So, he's full in renunciation also. But yesterday lecture we heard Krishna was crying for gopis. And so, how much he is attached and how to understand this both?
Very, very good question. Krishna, on the other hand, he has 6 opulences, and one of the opulences is that he is renounced. He is not attached. Na mam karmani limpante na karma phale spriha. So I am not bound by the activities, and I have no phale spriha. I have no desire to get this or to get that. But Krishna, for the pleasure of his associate gopis and devotees, he used to do these pastimes for their pleasure, not for his pleasure. Of course, that's what the problem was. When Radharani was serving Krishna, Krishna thought she is getting more enjoyment than me. If I become Radha, then I will get the same enjoyment what she is getting. When he was thinking like that, he is black, Radharani is golden, and he became body of Krishna, but not Krishna anymore, the golden form, thinking of Krishna, and in mentality, in consciousness, Radharani, and body of Krishna, and turned golden. That's the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's how Krishna wanted to relish the mellow loving exchanges between Radha and Krishna and gopis. So that's what the 10th canto is. Very tough, very difficult to understand. We are just our blunt, common, sensual people. We can't understand these transcendental things, but your question is very good. We have to understand by Prabhupada's purport that Krishna is beyond our senses, and Krishna, when he does Leela with the gopis, he is not. One time he left. It happened in the Leela. He left and gopis were just like, oh, where Krishna, where is Krishna? To increase their hankering, sometimes he leaves. He left Vrindavan, went to Dwarka, returned, but they suffered. Gopis, they were in Viraha, because in separation, love is even more.
Yes, even though he was crying, he was duty bound, he did not come back. That also was told yesterday. He was duty bound, he didn't come back. He was crying, so this slightly different history. So, third question is also very good to me. Like, generally we are supposed to follow Dharma. Today in lecture also we heard that Atiti Deva Bhava, somebody following Dharma is offering his wife to Atiti. And we hear that Indians were trying to follow Dharma, they don't fight at certain times, and they follow the Dharma of Yuddha also. That's why we were ruled by Mughals and Britishers for several years, hundreds of years. So now it is a contradiction whether to follow Dharma or not to follow Dharma, because how to reconcile this?
Dharma is occupational duty, is like I mentioned 126 Bhagavatam, Savai Punsa Paro Dharma. So we have to follow Paro Dharma, the Dharma which is beyond bodily concept of life. Prabhupada, when he went to the Western countries, preached Krishna consciousness to the whole world, he was giving Paro Dharma. People were engaged in their Swadharma, like somebody is policeman, somebody is professor, somebody is labor. They were doing their own duties as their ashrama, but Prabhupada gave them beyond Varnashrama, which is Paro Dharma, which is how to connect to the Supreme Lord, how to engage in His service. So if we are on the bodily platform, I am Hindu, you are Muslim, let's fight. Then we are on the bodily platform. Prabhupada gave us, Bhagavatam gave us, there is no Hindu word in Bhagavatam, because it's not for Hindus. Hindu word came into picture only when the Muslim invaders came from Middle East, they crossed Sindhu, they called it Hindu, people who live across Sindhu are Hindu. What is our religion? What is our dharma? Varnashram dharma. Maybe whatever, maybe Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or maybe four varna, Kshatriya, ashram, Brahmacharya, Agrastha, Vanpa, Sannyas. So whatever ashram, whatever varna we have, using that, being on that platform, we have to go above that platform, engage in service of Krishna, that's parodharma. That is the highest occupational duty. By doing that, by engaging in that duty, we become purified, or sarvapadhi vinirmuktam, get freedom from all designations. Tatparatya nirmalam, then you become purified. Why purified? Why Paramahansa? Is because I am not discriminating based on bodily platforms. Sarvapadhi vinirmuktam. Tatparatya nirmalam. Rishikesha, engage your senses in the service of the master of the senses, Rishikesha. Then Sevanam Bhakti. Then you are fully situated in Krishna consciousness. Yes, Prabhu. Any?
Thank you, Prabhuji, but this Aditi Deva Bhava is free.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to follow Atiti Devo Bhava. That was said, that is as an example, that there are people like that. Like when Ramanujacharya went to see his lady disciple, she was having no clothes even. She was so poor. Then Ramanujacharya, he gave his own body a cloth, upper cloth, through the window. Then she put on, and then she wanted to serve Guru Maharaj. So she went to the shop of the Baniya, and then she said, "Oh, you always wanted to unite with me, and you want, I want, today my Guru Maharaj is at home, so please give me, and in the evening I will come to you. You give me everything I need for my Guru Maharaj." She said, she promised, she got everything, and she served Guru Maharaj nicely. Guru Maharaj left. In the evening she went to the Baniya and said, "Okay, what can I do now, because I wanted to serve my Guru Maharaj." So Baniya said, "Oh God, you have such a great love for your Guru, and I am so fallen that I am trying to exploit you." He also gave up that idea, said, "No, Mataji, I was mistaken. Thank you." So the point is, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam, laws of God. We have to love God. We have to follow the rules and regulations. If we do not follow rules and regulations, ekanta ki harer bhakti utpataya kalpate, will cause disturbance in the society. In ISKCON society, outside ISKCON society, everywhere. So better we follow. That would be one extreme if we are not that advanced. Need not to. Because we have to follow our level. Like Arjuna was not following his level. He was Kshatriya. He didn't want to follow his level of fighting. He wanted to come down of that level. He said, no. Be at your level. You are Kshatriya, fight. I'm not asking to become Brahmana, okay? Don't act like a Brahmana, because that's not your level. Same way, Dhruv Maharaj, when he was, mother said, no, you can't sit on the lap of your father. So he was Kshatriya, he was angry. Narad Muni said, "Oh, become Brahmana, don't be angry, you are a small boy." He said, no, I have to take revenge. So Narad Muni preached Brahman philosophy to Dhruv Maharaj, but he didn't accept. That's the nature. So dharma, nature, and adjustments have to be made. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Srila Prabhupada ki